So did that raise any other questions, Jeff?
Um, no, just the right now the hands on gargoyles really I think is it.
Okay. I'm gonna go backwards. Don't do that, David. So when you've gotten into gargoyles, the first thing is you shift back, and that separates the arms. And then you begin to rotate. Come on, David. You're going to rotate to the left and step back with that left foot. But it has to be sure and turn in a little bit so it's not turned out too far. And the arms start to turn as you step. And they continue turning as you go back on to the left and then turn forward into the posture. And the hands are ideally at the middle and lower dantian level and not too close to the body. They're out at this point. And you're 100% on the left foot because supposedly you have a hold of this guy and you could also kick him. So you have to be 100% on the left foot, which means you are prepared to rotate right, releasing the fists and stepping back, and rotate right, forming the fists slowly, and then turning left into the opposite gargoyles. And again, you're 100% on that back foot. Front one is empty. So from
Incense.
you're going to step, you shift back, which separates the arms. And then as you rotate left and right, you form the fists. And then when you step back and rotate, that forms the opposite fist. So the arms are rotating and forming the fists all the way through that rotation.
I think it's on the first step back. Once we do that and the arms come back and we're ready to rotate back to center, I'm not sure which way my arms should be rotating here.
So on that, when you shift back, the arms separate.
Yeah.
And they also are slightly beginning to bend in.
Okay.
Then they're going to turn with the body. You're rotating the ball with the turn of the body.
Okay.
But you're not going all the way. You're only going about halfway, so that as you rotate to face forward, you complete. So from here, they separate.
Yeah.
You're rotating left and they're bending in, and you're rotating right and they're extending out. And those movements are very subtle. They're as much internal as external because your arms are already pretty close to the body.
Right. And that's why it's been hard for me to know which way the arms are turning on that last rotation. Could you just do it once with an exaggerated twisting of the arm so I know, is it thumb first or is it pinky first that they're turning?
Say that again.
On that first step back, and then we've gone like this. Now from this point, I'm not really sure which way my arm should be turning. you say it's a very small actual twist, which is why I can't really see from your motions which way the arms themselves are turning. Can you do it once with an exaggerated turn so I know if you're leading with your pinky side of the hand first or your thumb side when you're rotating?
Well, so the bottom hand is leading with the little finger edge, the upper hand is leading with the thumb edge, because you're rotating the ball.
Okay, that helps.
What?
So I'll exaggerate it also, but tell me if I'm doing this right.
Okay,
But
I'm going to
it's like that.
turn this. I'm going to mirror that.
Okay.
So you're turning left,
Yeah.
and the little finger is going under, the thumb is going over. And then as you come back to center, that movement continues. So you don't change. It isn't that it goes one way and then back.
Oh, okay.
It goes zoom.
That's what I was trying to do, was go one way and then back, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I just suddenly realized that.
So that's what I needed. That's the piece I needed.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a continuous. You're just
That's a big
rotating the
difference.
sphere.
I was doing it the opposite. I was going back and then trying to go back the other way.
Nope,
All right. That's why it didn't feel right to me.
you were right.
All right. Oh yeah, that's much better. Much better. Okay. That's good.
Okay, so I think what I would like is for each of you to flow independently.
Yeah.
Hmm?
The last part?
Nope, from the beginning.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So one at a time.
Okay. All right. So you can watch.
Are your ears in? So who wants to go first?
It's up to Bill. I'll do whatever he wants.
Okay.
Okay.
So you'll go?
I'll go.
Okay. So Bill's going to go first.
Okay.
Oh, that's not bad, Bill. You're getting a hold of a lot of it.
I'm sorry?
You're getting a hold of a lot of it.
Yeah.
Your left arm, every once in a while, has a tendency to cross the center line of your body.
Okay.
Just your left one, not the right one.
Don't know what that's about, but I'll monitor.
Okay. Single whip. You're doing a lot of up and down through
Okay.
that. So, yes, from focus, it does come down, but notice that my arms are not changing level really. My body is just rotating through that. Here, as you come in on that step, then there is a little bit of going, but it's the movement there is boom. You're separating his arms would be one way to think of that, martially.
Yes, I did notice when we were doing it together before that your arms are generally, well, at many points higher than mine. Mine seem to have dropped for
Yeah,
whatever reason.
and that's one of the things about this style is basically the hands are staying
Right there.
right in this level. Not always, obviously, with these postures. Wave hands, you will find it easier to maintain the constant spherical movement if when you come to center, your hands are opposite each other here instead of here.
Okay.
Here. So now you have some place to rotate from and back to and from.
Yeah. I thought I had corrected that some, but obviously
Not that time
Yeah,
anyway.
okay.
Okay. So I think there was one other item. With both with subdued tiger and gargoyles, your tendency is to get the hands too close together.
Okay.
You want to keep them separated to the. So the middle dantian actually is at the base of the sternum. You know, where you come down and then there's no bone.
Yeah.
So it's here, and this one is down here. So the tendency, your tendency is kind of to get into the middle of that.
Yeah.
Your kicks are definitely improved. Definitely improved. The push down, you're doing a semicircular movement through there. The hands are rotating out, 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 out,
Okay.
out, out. Then in.
Okay.
Boom, boom. That's probably as much as you can remember.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're always welcome to take notes. I don't know if you're a note taker or not.
Okay.
In the middle, at some point, I may readjust my position so that I don't get out of the camera range.
Oh, okay.
I'll try and be aware of that. If you lose me at some point, just tell me.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a limited range here.
Yeah.
based on the camera width.
Actually, Jeff,
Yep.
um, I only see you just above your waist. Is there any chance of a little more of the upper body?
A little more of the upper body.
Yeah. Yeah, that's knee to neck. That's not bad.
We lost some legs, so that's why I was.
Yeah, yeah, no, I understand that.
Okay, whatever's best for you.
pretty good, Jeff. Um, your single whips tend to be too broad.
Oh, okay,
You want to try to rein them in a little bit.
okay,
Um, it's hard making the transition from Yang to Wu,
right,
um, and thinking about the fact that everything is beginning to condense.
right.
Um, um,
I think in that flow, I kind of had the same problem with um, reaching out too far.
yeah,
I felt like on the first couple, I was reaching out too far with that.
and then after that, you kind of lost your rhythm. I think you started thinking
Yeah,
much.
yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, um, you're. It really is pretty critical to only have the hands opposite each other when you hit the center point.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm still that's still the whole timing thing. I've still yet to get
yeah,
comfortably in a position where I don't have to think about it.
yeah. Um, it really for you because you've got a little more experience than Bill does. Um, the next stage after we finish learning the basic movements here is
Right.
obviously to work on particularly bending and stretching and twisting.
Right.
And that's really, I think, kind of what you need the most.
Hmm.
Um, the one comment that I would make to both of you at this point is forget your hands.
Hmm.
um, they are just an extension of the body.
Right.
So, you know, the movements are not hand movements.
Right.
They are something that happens as a result of what the body does.
Yeah. I'm still thinking way too much about the hands and not enough about the scapula.
Yeah. I keep hitting the wrong one here. Wait a minute. There we go. Um, and that's hard for all of us. We all go through that
Right.
stage. I mean, the hands they're right up there in front of us, particularly in this form. They're high. They're right there. They're moving in front of us all the time. But
What makes it doubly confusing, not necessarily confusing, but cluttering in my mind is a lot of times I think of what the martial application is of the posture that I'm doing. And of course, that puts me right to thinking about what my hands are doing.
yeah,
That's probably a trap I should get out of.
yeah, it's really in this form. Um, I think the thing to remember about this form ultimately, because we're not going to look at this martially. I mean, we look at.
Right.
I'll talk about martial aspects or applications because it helps us understand what we're doing sometimes, and that's a
Right.
good thing.
Right.
But um, what Master Joe said was that this form was the Tai Chi form that gave us the greatest opportunity to develop spiritually.
Hmm.
And indeed, it is much easier, I think, to arrive at the stage where you can actually meditate while doing your Tai Chi form in Wu than you can in Yang.
I would think, yep.
Um, and that is one of the things that one would hope to arrive at eventually with the Wu style.
Right.
So um, our first thought isn't martial with this, particularly at Bill's and my age.
Right.
Maybe you're thinking a little more martially than we are, but
Only because it reminds me of what I want to be doing with my body, at
Yep.
the time, as far as what the goal is trying to do in terms of rotation and shifting and all of that.
Yeah. But if you remember that it's the movement of your body that is creating the power that's
Right,
expressed in the hands,
right,
um, which is where your the power of your martial application is.
right.
So it, it, it really is important to uh, try to really um, find whole body movement, not just arm and hand
I'm
movement.
at the same place in God's, so.
Yep,
Yep.
yep.
Mm,
Yep.
okay.
So, um, it seemed to me that you both understand what you would like to be doing in gargoyles.
Yeah.
do, you, do you have any further questions there?
Now that one question I had was the rotation of the hands, which when you put it in terms of rotating the ball and continuing to rotate the ball, that cleared it up right there.
Good, good. So, when we when the next posture is sweep the lotus
Oh, okay.
in in this form.
Right.
It isn't in the long form, but in this form, um, when you have gotten to that second um, gargoyles, you actually are just going to shift onto the left, which extends the arms. And you want to do that um, at whatever height you're able to do this posture. So Jeff can do it pretty high. Bill and I are going to do it probably lower than that. But you shift forward onto that left foot, and you're going to sweep the right leg with the dantian through a circular movement from left to the right front corner. So that when you shift forward, that leg is going to go across and you're going to do an empty step to the corner.
Okay.
Um, and I would suggest to begin with, you don't make it too long
Right.
for this style in particular. Um, this is the same as sweep the lotus in the Xiang style, which means that ideally um, it slaps the two hands left, right. Do it so it's
I remember that.
so. Um, at least both of you have done it in the past. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
The tricky part here, and actually let me enlarge enlarge me. Do either of you have a question particularly about sweep the lotus?
Just when you're shifting forward, your hands are just folding out. Your arms, I mean, are just folding out, straight out, right?
Yeah, you're. uh, they're just. Yes, they're folding out. They're unfolding, and you're. They have to. They actually have to rotate so that the palms are down,
Right.
because if you don't, it's pretty hard to actually sweep them.
So as you're shifting forward, they're just doing this. They're just unfolding and rotating.
Sorry.
So as you're shifting forward, they're just doing this to get to that point.
Yep. They're
Okay,
just getting out here ready for
okay,
your sweep. Oh, good.
right.
Now, the tricky part is that unlike the yang, where the arms kind of stay there after the leg hits the hands, the arms have to fold instantly, and I do mean instantly, to the side of the neck.
Huh, okay,
So if you're in gargoyles, so let me just do this once. You come forward, sweep, and notice that my hands hit, and it's almost a bounce to here. And then you're going to go forward in this is a Chen style push.
huh,
So notice that uh, the elbows aren't out here. Elbows are down, and the hands are going to rotate. The palms sweep down the chest, and rotate to push out. So it's like a J movement.
so, and you're going to the corner in the direction of your right foot?
Yes,
Okay, is this called stroking the beard?
yes.
Okay, I vaguely remember that now.
So the hard part of this is that we're, we're inclined to sweep the lotus and leave our arms there, and they've got to come right back up. Because in the yang style, you don't do that. You do sweep the lotus and then you pick up the bow and shoot the tiger.
Right,
Here you stroke the long beard.
okay.
Question?
No,
So your body is rotating, you first rotate to the left to bring the leg around, you sweep, and now the body is rotating to the right this whole time until you're done, your hands have come up and you're done turning that,
It is, well, your body actually is rotating left
yeah,
and then right. And then this movement there is a curve in the body movement, but it's following the curve of what your arms are doing.
all right, I guess that what I'm asking is at that ending point where we're actually stroking the beard, we're done rotating to the right. We're just now going down and forward.
Yes. When
Okay,
your foot lands, you're done rotating.
okay, got it.
So it's the 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 um, the sweep. I'm
Okay,
done rotating.
that answers it. Yep, that's it. Thank you.
Boom.
Okay,
okay, stroking the beard then is on an angle.
Yes, it's in the direct.
Yeah.
Ideally, you're in a reasonably good bow stance to the corner.
go out shortly. Okay, and so your body is doing one of those big C curves. As we stroke, the body's doing like a C curve.
Yeah, so that's, I hadn't really brought that in yet, but yes. So the body straightens on the kick. It bends as the hands come up, and it
Okay.
straightens as you go out. We'll look at all of that.
Okay,
So that's another place where the bend and stretch is very quick.
hmm,
And at the end of this, are you 60/40?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
okay.
So I'm not going to add any more.
Mhm.
Do you have any other questions there, Bill? I mean, Jeff?
No, not right now.
Okay. Um, let's go back to single whip. shift, touch, step, lift hand, sit back and turn, high pat, turn, subdue, shift, kick, strike, step and rotate into subdue tiger, shift, kick, strike, step back, rotate on the right heel, kick with the left heel, stepped straight ahead but rotate to single whip, step up turning left, push down and out, coming up on the right, step, push down and chop down, rising turn and step back, turn, step to the side and shift to chop forward. Come back, step, pung, G, back and turn, right arm extends, kick and step back, sink into offering incense, shift back to 100%, empty step and rotated shift back to gargoyles, empty step, rotated shift back to gargoyles, shift forward, extending the arms, sweep, stroke the long beard. Questions?
There was one in there. I'll see what I can. With the gargoyles, eventually that is just going to flow smoothly without any pauses.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
going piece by piece at the moment.
Yeah.
But you have any questions, Jeff?
Just with the body movement at the very end when we're stroking the beard. I think I got it now from watching you this time, but it seems like as we come around and we're set, we're done rotating. We've actually kind of sunk, you said, and then we rise a little bit as we stroke.
Well, there's, yeah, you know, it's a little bit, if I exaggerate it, let me see if I can exaggerate it.
Yeah, that's helpful. All right.
Now that's way bigger.
Right. Right.
And it is more the action of the C curve in the spine than it is actually going down and up.
Okay.
So at the point at which you have arrived here,
Yeah.
you have a C curve, so you're not straight. You've tucked the pelvis and extended the head, and now that's all extending.
All right.
And the movement's pretty subtle, and it gets more subtle as you go further in the practice.
Right. Okay. So that what you just said about the C curve actually was a good reminder because I wasn't doing that fully as far. Can you say that one more time? Tucking the pelvis and the head?
So yeah, that's a whole other piece.
Yeah, but I mean, you introduced us to it, and I wanted to remember how to do it properly while I'm doing this.
Yeah.
That's all.
So yes, so the pelvis tucks, and that really kind of determines the amount of movement you have. You don't want to overdo it, but you want to feel that it's beginning to pull at the base of the spine, separate the vertebra. So there's a little bit there. And then the head, remember, goes up and forward. It doesn't go down.
Ah, okay.
And that's critical because if you go down, you can hear it affect my voice, okay?
Right,
If you go here, it doesn't affect my voice at all,
right,
okay? You can do that with actually even putting something in here. You put your hand in here. If you just let your head go down, it cuts off your breathing in your
right,
voice. But you can do the same thing, extending the head and going forward, and now it doesn't do that as much.
right.
Okay? So
Yeah,
you
I could feel, that's why I'm asking this, Dave, because I could feel what you were saying about when your head was dropping and cutting off your voice and the air and energy and all that. I was doing that and I couldn't figure out what I was doing. Now I know.
so yeah, you have to um, have both ends. So this is not like the Taoist spine stretch where we worked from
Right,
bottom to top and bottom to top. This is everything happening at once. And so you're actually bending from the middle of the spine to form the C curve, and you're straightening from the middle of the spine.
okay. So as you shift forward and stroke the beard, you are going from that C curve into a more straightened spine from top to bottom. All right, that's what I was needing
Yep.
to understand. All right, got it.
Other other issues at the moment?
At the very end, the
Yeah.
hands are fairly close in.
So, um, in almost all the movements in here, when the hands are, if they're not in the middle, they're along the line of the sidelines of the body. So you'll notice that that's where this movement is. Okay, it's right straight down, it's right straight down this
Right,
those lines.
yeah,
It's not into the center,
right, okay,
right down the sidelines. And in a way, that's what I was talking about, Jeff, with you in single whip.
yeah,
Um, this is a little wider than those
so,
sidelines,
right,
but it's not here.
okay, all right. And so that last movement of stroking the beard and pushing down, that's on?
Um, I would think so.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a chin style push.
okay,
And yes, it would, I think it would be on.
okay. All right, well, that's a good posture. I like that posture. Got to work on it.
Okay, good, good. Okay. Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'll see you next week.
Good.
Have a good week.
Have a good 24
Too.
hours
Yeah.
until I see you again.
All right, so we actually have two classes before you go then. I'm
Yep.
just, okay, got it. I thought it was one. All right, I'm gonna write this on my calendar so I remember
That's
it.
a good idea.
All right,
I
sounds
was
good.
going to try this week to let people know about that, so.
Right. Well, I'm a little different only because I'm trying to plan a trip up there, so
Yeah,
that's why.
good.
All right, thank you. We'll
How's
see
your
you.
dog doing?
The one who had the operation, she's actually doing quite well. I'd say she's pretty much back to normal.
Uh-huh.
She's